good. It's like we're live on YouTube.
Nice.
Because it allows live on Twitch as well. Not sure. Can you check and see if we're live on Twitch?
Yeah, let me check. Yeah, it looks like you're live.
We're live. Okay.
Yeah.
Public there. Cool. All right. Well, I think we should be good.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
All right.
I'm ready whenever.
Sweet. Pull up mine. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 204. My name is Harrison, and I am joined by my brother, Nick. As always, Nick, how you doing, buddy?
What's up? Doing good. Doing good.
It has been a very crazy and wild week in the gaming world. Supposed to be a direct last week, then there wasn't. The internet flipped out.
Thanks, Xbox.
They're yelling at YouTubers. They're yelling at insiders.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got a direct announcement. So patience, I guess, is the key.
I do love whenever an insider is wrong because it narrows down the list of reputable insiders.
Yeah.
So that's refreshing. So all of our faith goes into Pioro.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's the thing too. It's like, yes, I want a direct. Like I could have taken a direct last week. I was kind of expecting it to fall on Thursday, like right after the Xbox podcast.
Right.
And when we didn't get it, and I didn't hear anything from Pioro, and then like Friday he was like, partner direct next week, and so.
Yeah, and then today what did he say? Or
he was talking about Game Freak.
Yeah, Pocket Jockey
partner. Yeah,
is probably going to be there, and then maybe Endless Ocean.
Yeah,
like some sort of remake or remaster.
And Pocket Jockey is like isn't that on the phone? Like it's on the iOS potentially.
Yeah, but it was also in 3DS. I think that's where it released first.
Oh, 3DS. That might be. Right.
I played it. It's pretty good. Like
okay.
It's a pretty solid game for what it's worth. I think it's one of their better endeavors outside of Pokemon.
Well, that's not saying much. what was their other one that they had?
Wasn't it called Town?
Little Town Hero or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I heard it wasn't very good, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Because that got announced, we're like, oh, Game Freak, something new from them, and then it turned out not to be so good. So
yeah,
oh well. But yeah, before we dive into all the news and what we've been playing, how was your week?
week was okay. Work's getting a little weird. My boss is quitting. So
No,
yeah,
little
so I get
shake
to
up.
yeah, a little shake up, so I get to fill in his role without any of the benefits at the moment, which is really fun. So might end up looking for might end up shopping around. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But
Just just
yeah,
just
that's
because you were just kind of used to.
I'm just not uh maybe I shouldn't say this on a podcast.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been there for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll stay forever. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay forever and be miserable. I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's been kind of a weird week, and
Yeah.
then, uh, but had a 3-day weekend this weekend, so got to do a lot of chilling. Played a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake, getting
Heck yeah.
through that. Yeah, I'll probably finish it before Rebirth comes out, which is
Okay.
good because I'm actually I'll hold off before we get into games.
Okay.
But before we do, Harrison, how's your week? How you doing?
It was good. I, weeks for me kind of been flying by. So that's always good. Um, we Friday my well our mom is in Florida right now, but
Hmm.
our dad took my son Kellen, and he ended up having like a little bit of a stomach issue. And we thought that, and we still think that he'd eaten like 3 bowls of oatmeal over like the span of like 4 or 5 days, but he's like eating 3 packs at a time. So it's a lot of oatmeal.
Jesus.
And then so we were thinking that maybe he just got like pretty stopped up. Um, and then he ended up using the bathroom, and then was all good to go. And then Dad the next day, or no, Sunday, because he dropped Kellen back off at our house on Saturday. And then Sunday he was supposed to be taking him to like the children's museum, and Dad ended up getting like super sick.
Oh
So
God.
I don't know if he got something from Kellen. Who knows? But uh, so yeah, a little bit different plans. But we ended up going out Friday night, having a couple of drinks at a local bar, and then Ubered on back. And then came back and made burgers. Well, I was smart. I pre-planned. I made the burgers first, and
Before you left.
made some fries. Um, and that way when we came back, it was ready to go.
Smart.
Yeah, super smart.
Man, look at you. Look at you.
Well, she was like, it was like, I was like, all right, how long are you until you're ready? She's like, 20 minutes. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and make the burgers just so they're done. Cause we didn't leave the house until like 10, so I was like, all right, we're not gonna get back until like at least midnight.
And then you ate dinner at midnight?
Yeah.
Man, you guys are crazy. Why didn't you just eat dinner before you left?
I don't know. We're weird like that. If we're having like drinks and stuff, we
You're
won't
not gonna eat beforehand?
we won't eat beforehand. We'll
What's the
usually
rationale?
just, I don't know. You get full off the food, and then you don't drink as
Kind of get
much.
tired.
Then you get
Yeah.
tired.
I get that.
Yeah.
Man, but then you're like super toasty because you haven't eaten anything and it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and then you smash your burger, then it's night time. I don't know. I guess I don't know, man. I think working at Applebee's just like screwed up my drinking habits. Not habits, but like even at Applebee's, like we would always drink, and then we'd eat right after. And I feel like I just carry that over whenever I'm drinking, like
Yeah,
heavily. Um, so I don't know. I think that's just always messed me up ever since.
probably. Yeah, because you guys would close down. You close down and then drink and then eat.
Well, we called it the power hour, right? So we would get off at like at my Applebee's. Even like Monday through Thursday we close at 12,
Hmm.
and then on the weekends we closed at 1. So if we were lucky, we could get out like maybe right around 1, um, and then we would go to like the local bar and have maybe 45 minutes to an hour to drink. And so we call it the
Yeah.
power hour because you just try to drink as much as you can within an hour, and then order some food or whatever, and then zip out. So
Man. Yeah, that would kind of change your
yeah,
entire like perception of
Because
eating
even like
food.
on a normal Friday, like we'll have our drinks and stuff, and we'll play some cards or dice or something, and like I won't actually cook for us until like 10:30.
Damn.
Just whatever. Just got a little toasty first, you know.
Just firing at the grill drunk, just flipping the burgers.
Hey, it is what it
Yeah,
is. um, but yeah, other than that, it was a good week. Again, a fast work week, so I'm always happy about that. But then, man, the weekends just fly by. It seems like
they do. They do.
I don't know.
Every day gets shorter.
That's what it feels like, man. That's what it really feels like.
That's the what is your perception of each day is shorter because for each day you've lived an additional day, so the length of that day in proportion to your total days lived is it shrinks every single day.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a thing. I think it's a like a perspective thing.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, whatever. This whole philosophy. Uh, but yeah, it was a good week. It was a good week. I picked up I texted you the picture. I picked up Metroid Other M on the Wii, and I still haven't played it yet. So
What made you pick that up? You were just curious?
well, it was right after I beat Metroid Fusion, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, Metroid is the shit, right? And I was like, all right. So I started like I started playing Metroid 2, and I was like, this might be a
Mm,
little bit too dated for me to really enjoy. And then I started
you
playing
should
Super Metroid,
okay.
and I put about 30 to 40 minutes into it, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I was like, all right, what's up with this Metroid M? I remember this coming back during back in the day, and like people either really liked it or really hated it. Metroid was obviously like still, I mean, it's still a pretty niche title to begin with, but it was very niche back then.
Mhm.
And I know that was created. Who was it created by? Was it Ninja
Uh,
Theory?
yeah, I think it was Ninja Theory.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it goes into the first person and third person perspective, which is kind of interesting. So I need to
Mhm.
try it out and see how it is. Um, but so I've got that sitting there. But I mean, I'll just dive into what I've been playing. The only thing I've been playing is Zelda, man. Ocarina of Time,
I know,
baby.
I've been watching, dude.
Dude, I'm it was like I'm obviously extremely nostalgic for that game, but it still holds up pretty well. And I'm granted I'm playing on the NSO on the Switch Online, um, and it's I mean it's pretty close to the original, um,
Mhm.
and having save states is kind of nice because there's been a couple
It's clutch.
situations where I'm like, yeah, I don't think I would have want to have to do that all over again.
Yeah, like when you're aiming for the bushes and, you
Yeah,
gotta
I mean that part, like I don't think I did that in the original game, so I'm discovering stuff that I didn't
Yeah, I don't remember that
play
at
or I didn't
all.
see, and
And
at
that's a
least I
whole
don't
different
remember it.
section too.
Yeah, it was like a secret section with I think it was like a big rupee or something, and then there was a Skulltula up there. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it, and even last night, like after I had streamed for the day, I was still itching to play it. So I busted out my 3DS and
Hell yeah.
I was playing some more, and it's funny because I'm right at the point where I am now. So I guess I never actually
You never finished it on the
finished it on the
3DS?
3DS.
Dang.
I finished Majora's Mask, but I don't think I never finished it on the 3DS. So I was messing around like doing some of the mini games, and God, do we need an updated version of Ocarina of Time on the Switch? Whether it's the
Yeah.
3DS version because it looks really good. And even like
I've
I was playing
yeah.
on with the 3D on, and I was like, man, the 3DS was a cool system. Like I don't
It's
remember
dude,
it.
3DS is awesome.
Yeah, I was like, man, this looks really really good. And then I was just like, turning on like the lens of truth and like the boots and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, God, this is so nice to have. And I don't know, the 3DS might be the best version of. I mean, it definitely is right now. But if they were to put it on the Switch, that convenience factor of just being able to use the bottom screen as to pull up your items is so nice, man. God, the 3DS is
Yeah.
great.
Man, every time I see you play it or we talk about it, man, I just want to drop everything and pick up my 3DS and play it. And I might. I might. I just I it looks So nostalgic, man. It just looks
It
so
really is,
good.
dude. Like, it's been an absolute blast, and just
Yeah.
chit chat with people while I'm playing. It's been fun because I've there's someone in chat that I guess he had recently played it, so I'm like, all right, I don't remember where to go, and he's like, he types it up real quick and lets me know.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been a lot of fun. I even busted out the old guide and was like looking through
I
something because
saw that.
the water
Yeah.
temple was I had missed one spot in the water temple, and it threw me off because I need a key and I don't know where to go.
Mhm.
Um, so the water temple wasn't that bad. I don't think I think it's a really bad rap, but also you miss one thing and it kind of screws you up because you have to
It's just
go
hard
back
to
down
navigate.
and raise the water level and stuff like that, and it's kind of a pain, and it's a special pain on the Switch and N64 because you have to go into the menu every time to turn on the iron boots. So,
Yeah.
but boy,
Yeah. Man, I guess the last time I played was on the 3DS whenever it came out in like 2011, 2012, and then before that, I remember beating the water temple right after I got braces
yeah,
when it like it was probably back in 5th grade. Uh yeah, what a game. Are you gonna play Majora's Mask after?
I think so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to 100% Ocarina of Time, and then I'll probably dive
Nice.
into Majora's Mask and probably play it on stream as well. Because otherwise, if I wasn't streaming it, I would rather just play it on the 3DS because it's just that much more convenient.
Yeah.
But
So you'd recommend like if I were to pick it up, I should just play the
yeah,
3DS version?
I would say just play through the 3DS version
Okay.
for sure because it's a lot. I mean, it's prettier. It looks great on the 3DS, and yeah, just the convenience factor of being able
Mhm.
to just tap items in. It's great. And I mean, and like there's obviously in Ocarina of Time you have to use the music a lot. Um, so you have to go into the menu and then
You have to
look up the
remember the
song
songs.
on the 3DS. It's just right there. So you just click it and it's got the list of the songs right there for you. It's really
Yeah.
yeah they nailed it. That they nailed that remake or remaster remake. I don't know out of the park with the 3DS versions.
Yeah, they did.
It's good.
Majora's Mask was really well done on the 3DS too.
It was yeah. Majora's Mask was fantastic, and
Mhm.
maybe it's a partner showcase. Maybe Capcom's
Stop.
involved. Maybe we can get something Zelda. We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you never know. You never know.
high
I mean,
hopes,
who's a
man.
partner? Who's not a partner? I mean,
Uh,
everyone can be a partner.
I think I
You
saw
can be a
something that
partner.
was like I think it was like a week ago or something. Someone had tweeted they were like does Nintendo own Retro?
Uh, yeah, I think so.
Okay, I think someone had tweeted that like they were like, all right, Nintendo has a couple of days to sell Retro Studios, so Metroid Prime 4 could technically be a
Be the
partner.
partner showcase.
uh, but yeah, that's all I've been playing. Yeah, Ocarina of Time's been it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, I've earlier last week I was playing more of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and I'm having such a great time with that game. It's just I've said it before, but this game just has so much heart. You know, it's just all the characters are really endearing in this game, and you know, there's like really meaningful side quests that a lot of games don't have. Like a lot of games just have your fetch quests, and I'll get to Final Fantasy VII in a second, but
Yeah.
they have like a lot of fetch quests and things like that. But with Like a Dragon, everything feels hey Kellen, um, everything feels
Christ
really
almighty.
impactful, even though it's a huge game with with a ton of content. But yeah,
Yeah,
been loving it.
I want to
Uh,
play this game. I'm just kind of scared because I know it's just going to
yeah,
be super time suck in a good way, obviously, but I know it's
I
going to
feel
be.
like you can segment it. Like I played through what I believe is like the first major arc in the game, and that was like 10 or so hours.
Yeah.
So like after I got through that, I felt like I had been satisfied to a certain degree, like with part of this game. Like okay, I could stop here and come back to it later, and you know still be relatively caught up with what's going on. But yeah, so I was playing that, and then I decided just to fully commit to Final Fantasy VII because I want to finish that game.
Yeah.
I've had it for a while, and Yeah, I put about 4 hours in up until recently, and then, this week and this weekend especially, I really sat down and started grinding away at it. It's a really it's a really great game. Like, I love the combat. I didn't dig it at first, but, um, now that I understand it better after,
Yeah.
20 hours in, and I liked it way before that, but just, at this point, I feel like I have a really good groove with the combat. It's kind of a mix of, live or, real-time combat, and then you build up, what's called an ATB gauge, and you have 2 gauges, and once you fill up 1, you can use a magic spell or use an item. But other than that, you're fighting in real time, and then yeah, and then
Is
you
it?
build that up.
I remember playing the demo. Is it anything like Xenoblade, where it's kind of like Xenoblade? Obviously, you can run around but it's still like an auto kind of
No,
battler.
you're still pressing
Okay.
square to attack, and
Okay.
you're
Gotcha.
dodging and guarding and all that stuff. So it's way more involved
Okay.
than
Okay.
than Xenoblade is. Um,
How do you how do you what do you how do you prefer your Final Fantasy? Because you played through 15 and really liked it,
yeah,
but you have not played 16. But but you played the original like Final Fantasy 3 and stuff back on like the DS. Like what's your preferred
I don't
as
really
far as
have a
turn based goes?
preferred uh like game style for Final Fantasy. Like if they switched to turn based, I'd like yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Like I wouldn't miss the live combat or the real time combat. Yeah, 15's combat was a little bit weird. I feel like they hadn't nailed it, and 16 from the demo from what I played, it feels more in line with something just like an action game,
Yeah.
like a Bayonetta or a Devil May Cry. Maybe not as intense as that, but I don't really have a preference. I think Final Fantasy VII Remake does it really well. It's a good mix of strategy and real time combat, and I'm excited to see what Rebirth does differently.
Yeah.
And I've held off on playing the demo because I don't even want to see any upgrades or anything to the game and then be like, oh, now I got to go back to
Yeah.
remake and
Back to this garbage.
back to this piece of trash and keep playing it. Um, so I'm really digging it. Like the story, like all the characters. I think they're all really really great characters, and there's
Yeah.
been some very cool moments in the game. Uh, couple of things I haven't enjoyed. Obviously, the side quests. I think the side quests are all fetch quests. I've been avoiding them.
That's what I heard. I was
Yeah,
listening to
they're
the
not
Next
good.
Lender podcast a couple days ago, and they were talking about I think Brad was going back and trying to finish up Final Fantasy because he had stopped a couple years ago when it came out.
Mhm.
He's like, yeah, he's like these side quests are probably the reason why I stopped because they were just very, I don't know.
And you don't have to do them.
Yeah.
Like, there are a couple of I mean, it's a mostly linear game, I would say. There are a couple of chapters that open up in, in some of the towns or cities,
Because it
and you
takes
can
place in
do
entirely in
it's
Midgar, right?
it's all
Yeah.
Midgar.
Okay.
It's yeah, it takes place over a couple sectors. So you start in sector 7, and then
Okay.
you go to some other sectors, and you see some different towns which are, varying in sizes, but yeah, it's all in Midgard. And I think Midgard, the setting itself is really cool because you have the plates above that are kind of blocking out the sun, and
Yeah.
uh,
That's cool.
kind of the game really revolves around that.
And you've never played like the original 7, right?
No, I haven't played the original,
Okay.
but yeah, from what I've seen, this game takes place during the first 5 hours of Final Fantasy
Yeah.
VII. So that's what makes me more excited for Rebirth because it's going to be more open
Open.
worlds
Yeah.
as opposed to Seven, which just takes place in Midgar. But one thing I hope that Rebirth improves on that's kind of awkward in Seven is okay. Those horror movies we used to make,
Yeah.
and whenever a new scene would start, it would kind of take a second
To start. Yeah.
for us to get into
Like, man,
character or for,
there
to
were so many times where you could hear like one of us going like action, and it would say like
yeah.
shun or something.
Shun.
Shun.
Yeah. So it feels like that, not in the cutscenes, but it does this weird thing, whenever you're going through a corridor or you're doing a jump, or you're like jumping across a platform, or you're like going across a ledge or something, there's a
Yeah.
little arrow that indicates that you're about to start that action, and you have to walk up to the arrow to start it.
Okay.
And so it kind of like, it feels super gamey in that way, where like you get up to it, you approach it, your character like gets into place for a second, and it's kind of like this awkward amount of time, and then they start doing the action, and then they complete the action,
Yeah.
or you complete the action because you're just holding forward on the stick, and then it takes a second to get back into the action, into the actual control of the character.
Okay, so it's like a not a cutscene, but it's like I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like shimmying through a wall
Yeah.
in a lot of you know, Sony games
Yeah.
mostly, except there's an indicator that says you're this arrow says you're about to shimmy through this wall,
Yeah.
and then you have to approach it correctly to be able to shimmy through the wall. Like it does it with
Oh yeah.
ladders too. Like you have to approach the ladder correctly to be able to start climbing it. So that's
Kind
the
of
only thing I hope
a
they
clever
improve
way
on
to
it.
hide the loading kind of thing.
And yeah, I mean, it's not even a loading screen or anything. Like it's not something that would warrant a loading screen. It's just
Yeah.
like any action where your character is moving in a different way than they normally do.
Yeah.
It requires like an arrow to do it. And
Interesting.
yeah, so that's one thing. It's kind of a nitpick, but it does slow down the game a lot. And there are a lot of moments in Final Fantasy VII that like unnecessarily slows down the pace of the game. Like when you crawl under something, it's just really slow. Sometimes the game will make you walk instead of run for a period of time, and it's like feels kind of dated in that
Yeah.
way. Even though this game came out in 2020, but I'm hoping Rebirth improves on a lot of that. But yeah, otherwise, I'm really excited to play Rebirth.
Kids Club, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream, buddy.
What's up, Kids Club?
He was the one I was telling you that was giving me pointers and
Oh, the
stuff.
Ocarina of Time veteran.
I was like, man, did you play this game recently? He's like, yeah, I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I really want to. Like, I mean, I've got a PS4, so I could play. I could play Final Fantasy if I wanted to, and I do, and I do want to play Rebirth because that all the trailers I've seen, it looks kind of crazy.
Looks pretty awesome.
Yeah. And I was pretty close this weekend. I was like, man, I'm itching to get a PS5 because Helldivers. I mean, my God, like, is this you tweeted it out, but is this the game to unite all the consoles together in
I
one?
think it is. It's like it's so funny seeing the tweets of everyone be like, we need those who have fought against the Covenant in the
Yeah,
flood.
because
It's like,
I've seen so many like TikTok edits where people are getting like destroyed, and then they're like, we need backup, or we need recruits, and then it's got
yeah.
the Halo 3 ODST people dropping in. I'm like, oh my God, this looks incredible.
Like
Oh man.
if if Sony was really cool, they would allow it to go.
Well, there's a petition out there to get it onto Xbox. It's not gonna happen, but
I wonder if they even have worked on a port. Probably not, but
no.
and it's not going to be something that happens overnight either. But
Yeah, it wouldn't be ready
it would be
for
cool.
a long time. But yeah,
Yeah,
Helldivers looks really good. Like, it just
it
looks like
does.
I know there's a battle pass in there and all that stuff, but you pay once, right? I think it's like $40 or something. Um, I don't know. It feels like it kind of feels like an old school, like, fun multiplayer game,
Yeah, it just seems super
or it
simple.
looks like it.
You land on a planet that has bugs, or you land on one that has robots,
Yeah.
and then you fight them, and you, I guess, hold them off from certain areas. I don't even know like how the gameplay works that much. I've just seen some clips.
I know it's like pretty much like a third person like horde mode almost. Like, it's like a, I don't know. It kind of looks like a. Do you know what the Earth Defense Force franchise is? Like the bugs.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that, but obviously on a much higher quality. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know the gameplay loop. I know you kind of you dive in to a map, and I don't know if you're, I don't know what kind of objectives what you're doing, but
It
I
might
don't know.
just be
All the
kills
stuff
all
looks
the
really
bugs.
cool.
It's cool that everyone's working towards a shared goal though. Like, and you can actually, vindicate a planet. Like,
Yeah, because it kind of looks like I guess there's like there's like a overall mission counter. Like you have to like I don't know if it's like kill so many bugs or I don't know extract so many. I don't know exactly what the
Yeah.
gameplay loop is, but I don't know. All the videos I've seen have looked really cool. So
Yeah, Helldivers 2 looks sick. I want to pick it up, but I would want to play with
yeah.
somebody, you know.
Yeah,
So
man,
we'll see.
I'm like I even went on GameStop and was like, all right, do they got like a PS4 trade-in kind of thing going on? But also like I don't know if I
Sure
want
they
to
do.
get rid of my PS4 because it's got PT on there. So
It's like a relic at this point.
yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw it up on eBay or something.
I wonder. I wonder what the going rate is for a PS4 with PT on it,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
because that's been delisted,
It's
right?
delisted. Yeah, you can
Okay.
no longer download it. I think you can re-download it technically if well, I don't know
If you've
because it was free. So whatever.
hmm.
All right. Well, is there anything else you've been playing, Nick, or is that it?
That's it. Let's get into this news, man.
All right. Yeah. Let's dive into this news. So we'll start with the Xbox Business Podcast. What are your thoughts on when this got announced? What were your kind of thoughts on that? It seemed kind of weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it seemed really weird. I think now, like looking back in context, it makes more sense
It
because they
does. Yeah.
could have a conversation about, you know, the criteria for games that are going to other platforms and that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
it's easier to say that in a podcast than it is to just put out a written statement
Yeah,
about
like
it.
a press release. Because I did see a lot of people were like, well, "This could have been like an email or like a press release or something." It's like I don't think people understand like the crazy psycho like Xbox fans were like gonna destroy their Xboxes. And now that may say something to them like in their kind of mentality overall, because majority of the people are like they're not gonna destroy their stuff.
Majority of people don't care.
Yeah, don't care.
They don't
But
even know about this.
when you got all these reports and all these insiders coming out saying there's Gears of War is coming, Xbox they're not making any hardware anymore. They're not.
Mhm.
I don't know the Game Pass, like they're getting rid of Game Pass or Game Pass. There were so many different reports and everything was just kind of I don't know. It was ridiculous. So I really feel like they did need to come out and like in person and actually kind of address what was going on, but they kind of also didn't address everything. There was the
Yeah,
four games that they didn't announce, which I thought was
which we
weird,
know
but
they are.
obviously we think it's Pendiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded, because Phil
Yeah.
said it was two community-based games and two smaller projects, and those make the most sense. Um, yeah, and then he said that Starfield and Indiana Jones are still remaining exclusives, but who knows what the future holds. I think this is Xbox just testing the waters, for other
Yeah.
platforms, and if it goes well, I could see either maybe day and date or maybe like a year kind of limited thing like they did with Hi-Fi Rush, depending on when that comes out, but who knows.
Yeah, I mean, and it was it's kind of confusing too because uh they obviously had the podcast, and then there was like another interview that The Verge did separately,
Yeah.
and in that one, Phil said, we'll never. This is paraphrasing, but he said we'll never rule out exclusivity when talking about games like Starfield or Indiana Jones. So he's kind of contradicting himself
Yeah.
from the podcast. So it didn't really clear anything up. It just kind of confirmed the initial
Yeah.
rumors that high or not high on life
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment were coming over, and I think that makes sense. They've done it with Ori, they've done it with Cuphead,
Yep. I mean, look at Minecraft. Like Minecraft is
Minecraft.
on
Yeah,
everything. Call of Duty's going to be on everything. So I think it makes sense, and I think it's kind of writing on the wall for Xbox for quite a while now. And to be honest, like with the Insomniac leaks that happened in December of last year, games are so expensive to make, and
yeah.
I just don't think the trajectory that the AAA game space is going. I don't think they can keep up with that. I don't think it's sustainable. I think it's going to cause potentially a crash if they're not really getting the profit back or the revenue back from making these games. Yeah, they see, yeah, Spider-Man sold a crazy amount, but it also cost a ton of money to make.
Right.
Um, so I think it makes sense. PlayStation's been dabbling with putting their first party games on PC. I think in a couple years, I think it'll be day and date as well with PlayStation. I think they'll do the
Well, I
exact
think
same thing with. I don't know if PlayStation will put their stuff on Xbox, but they'll definitely do day and date with PC. I think at some point in the future. I
I
think
think
that makes sense.
Helldivers was the
Yeah, Helldivers. I mean, look at
might
that.
be a driving
Gosh.
factor in that. Yeah,
I mean, that was
like
they probably
that
weren't
blew
even
up.
expecting that at all, but they're probably like giving each other high fives in the back rooms. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
we did it, boys.
it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of like Power World. No one would have expected that game to do so well,
Yeah,
and that's large in part to it launching on Steam. Like that was a big portion of that player base.
yeah,
So you can't discount PC players, and they'll show up for games. That's for sure. And I think
yeah,
speaking of Power World and Helldivers, I think we're gonna see a lot more like AA games
yeah,
that do really well and that don't cost $100 million to make, but still have a good audience and fill in a niche somewhere. Like you can't have games like Skull and Bones and Suicide Squad that take 20 years to make and they come
yeah,
out like shit. You know?
yeah. And then who knows how? Yeah, and then they don't. I mean, I don't know what the sales numbers look like for Suicide Squad, and Skull Bones just came out on Friday, but
Mhm.
yeah, games are just crazy expensive to make, and it bums me out too because we've I don't know if you saw the reports that some X343 devs were talking about how they pitched to Xbox about like a Helldivers like game with ODST. It's like, man, how cool would that have been? Like, man, that just seems like a
Yeah,
super missed opportunity.
it does.
And to be honest, like with the Halo franchise in general, I feel like there could be so many different types of games that they could make. Like imagine like a small like horror story with Halo. Like maybe it's a family stuck on Reach and they have to
Mhm.
escape somehow and like they're you have to sneak past the cov like that could be really cool. I mean that's just I don't know
Yeah.
whatever happened, but yeah, there's just so many different things that companies can do that don't have to be these massive AAA games. They can take their existing franchises and make a smaller title and still be quality.
And that's the kind of stuff we saw like during the 360 and PS3 era and the Wii era was
Yeah.
like a lot of like smaller budget games that were really good and like told a really cool story. I mean, that's what ODST was. It was a smaller game that probably had a lot smaller budget than Halo 3,
Yeah,
but
and I think ODST also was supposed to be like an expansion for Halo 2, and then it ended up being a lot bigger and more ambitious with firefight and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean
mhm.
there was stuff like Ratchet and Clank that had like one or two like smaller like side like standalone kind of DLCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the game the AAA game space is going to change a lot in the next few years, and um yeah, because yeah, I just don't think it's sustainable for too much longer. Too
No.
expensive.
And I do think Xbox they need to dive into their catalog a little bit more, even with their major franchises like Halo and Gears of War, and start doing cool stuff with those franchises. Like
Yeah,
they did Gears Tactics, and that's a great idea.
yeah.
Uh, maybe do something else. Maybe don't do a tactics game. I know they love like RTS. Xbox loves RTS games, that
Oh
kind of
yeah.
stuff, tactics.
Like Halo Wars
But
1 and
yeah,
2 were really cool and good. So I
yeah,
mean,
like they
but
could do more of that. Maybe do a side scroller or something, a uh, top down game for. Well, they did one for Halo, Spartan Assault,
yeah, yeah.
and
That's
it
like the
wasn't very
mobile the
good,
mobile game, and
but
they put it on. I think they put it on the 360 or Xbox One
yeah, it was on
later down the
Xbox
road.
One.
But
So I don't know. There's a lot of untapped territory there.
yeah, for sure. Um, but yeah, and then Sarah Bond started talking about next gen hardware, which you know, there's the reports about, the PlayStation Pro and stuff like that could be potentially coming this year. That still kind of blows my mind because it doesn't even feel like we're in the nitty gritty of
Hmm.
this current gen. But obviously, like I'm aware that COVID really kind of screwed everything up. Um, and this I think this generation is going to be a pretty short one. Um, but yeah, they're talk. She talked about what new. So she said two different things. It was new hardware that was going to be
The
the
biggest
biggest
leap.
jump, biggest leap in technological advancement in gaming as far as the consoles go. And then she talked about new hardware coming, or they're going to talk about new hardware coming this fall.
Like talk about hardware this fall.
But do you think they're going to announce like the revision, like the cylinder looking series, that the all
I
digital
don't
one,
know.
or do you think that's
I
still
mean,
in
that was
talks?
pretty old. That was a pretty old leak, right? Like that was
Yeah,
like even like when it leaked, it was from a year back or 2 years back, something like that. I don't know if that still exists. I can't
I
even see them
think
doing a refresh this gen.
I think
I would.
the controller, it could be something that could come though, like that haptic feedback Xbox controller.
Oh
I think
yeah,
that could be
like kind
something.
of the PS5 type
Yeah,
controller. Yeah, I mean that'd be cool, but I don't see them doing a digital only Xbox Series X for five like still for $500. That just doesn't make any
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. That may make a lot of people upset too if it's
They should
digital
just do a
only.
handheld.
And that's my question to you.
That's the hardware they should
Do
do.
you think what's the possibility of Xbox doing a handheld?
I think at this point it's pretty high. Like with the Switch and Steam Deck and like the ROG Ally, like there's a
Because
lot on the
is
market.
is Game Pass like as an application on any of those devices? I know it's definitely not on OLED. I know you can get Game Pass on OLED, but you kind of have to. It's kind of a workaround to do it. It's not like just like a native.
I think it's on the Ally
It's on the
because
Ally.
it's a Windows based.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think Xbox should do something really cool with the handheld, and I would, because I think PlayStation kind of blew it with the Portal. I just I don't know, either go all in with a handheld or just don't do one at all.
Yeah.
And we
I
got
mean
like this
I could do the
weird.
same thing on this backbone right here.
Exactly. And we got, yeah, it's just like a weird like in between that no one it's probably a really cool device to play with when it works, but I think a lot of people just wanted a, a dedicated,
Like a native.
yeah, like a native one where you can
Yeah.
play your games on the go without, you can just download them. Like we don't need we don't need a PlayStation Vita where you're making separate games, but just make something that's comparable so we can play our games on the go.
Yeah. And it would obviously be like digital only,
Yeah, of
and
course,
that's
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But you can. Well, I don't know how it would work if you have the disc version of Final Fantasy VII and you want to play it on your native handheld. Like, could you
Yeah,
even
that
do
might
that?
be
That's probably a big factor, and I don't think Xbox would care about that. I think they would still do it.
what, make it digital.
Yeah, I think they would just make it all digital and say, hey,
Yeah.
if you have a disc, maybe there's a workaround where you can.
Yeah, but see, with the
I don't
Xbox,
know.
it's like none of their games are on their discs anymore. You have to download it anyways. So maybe you could buy the disc and then just download it and put it on like your, or maybe even they take the SD card or whatever that they have, like the external one, and you can maybe plug that into their handheld device or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
I
I
mean,
imagine if you bought the disc version of some sort of Xbox game and they made a handheld, they would probably allow you to still download it because again they're not on the disc. You have to download everything anyways. So
I
I
think the
think
fear though is reselling. Like you buy it
yeah,
or give it to someone else.
I don't know. It's a weird future.
Yeah, maybe we won't even need to worry about it because Xbox is going to be all digital in the next generation, anyways.
Yeah, I mean that report came out like not too long ago where like 10% of their overall sales were physical. They were like the lowest and all the like. I mean, there's Game Pass. I mean, nobody's
Game Pass and game
buying.
sharing.
Yeah, there's nobody's buying Xbox games.
No.
Like it's just not a thing anymore. Like people still buy PlayStation games of it, and Nintendo obviously like holds the market for physical. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not surprising. 10%.
Let's see here what we got. Anything else about? I mean, again, I quoted a nothing burger kind of thing. It kind of felt like a nothing burger because again the writing was on the wall for all this stuff, so we kind of already knew
Hmm.
that they were dabbling in the third party or putting their stuff on multi platform. Um, anything else out of the little podcast that you take from?
Honestly, they just need to put out some good games. That's the takeaway. That's how you get
Yeah,
trust. That's how you get consumer trust. Just have a year of good games.
and it seems like we're coming up on that, so we just gotta wait. I think
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
people are again just taking these rumors, these leaks as fact, and just you just can't do that. You just can't do it.
no.
But
Let's hope Hellblade 2 and Avowed and Indiana Jones are all good.
all good, yeah. And then whatever
If
else they got in the works. I don't know. I think you were pretty down on Xbox a couple weeks ago. How are you feeling? How are you feeling now? Are you feeling?
I mean, I was never at a point where I was gonna sell my
Of
Xbox or
course,
anything,
but
but I
like
was like,
the big rumors were they were gonna stop making hardware and like now that we know they're still in the game.
I mean, that's reassuring
Yeah.
for my digital library to
Okay.
to know that it will carry on to the next system and all that. I'm not super confident in their lineup of games over the next few years. Hopefully, they can deliver
Yeah.
with games like Fable and Perfect Dark. But I feel like this entire generation has been Phil saying, "Wait and see. Just wait. We're
Yeah.
gonna
And
have
now we've got
a great game every quarter, that kind of stuff," and it's
yeah,
never
and there
really
was
materialized.
I can't remember what report it was, but there was something I saw where Xbox the next gen was going to be 2026. So I think they're trying to kind of imitate what they did with the 360, where they're trying to get out first for next
Hmm.
hardware and beat Sony to the punch for like maybe a year or so. And that's probably why they were pretty successful with the 360. Plus the PlayStation 3 was $600 at launch, and they dropped it
Yeah, I
down
think it's
to
crazy.
400 or whatever it was. God. Yeah, I think I'm okay with Xbox. Like, I got confident. I still like Phil. Like, he's a very charismatic dude. But again, like you said, he's just wait and see. Next year's our year.
It should
Whatever
be
it is.
this year.
Yeah. Um. Next
Oh
up, we
man.
we kind of got the trifecta of stuff from the big three, but PlayStation sales numbers came out. I think they were estimated 34 million in 2023, and they hit 31. So they were off on their right. Was that the
It might have been 25 and 20.
25 and 20? Oh, 25 and 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So they were off on their sales projection. Um, and so yeah, kind of sales have kind of starting to flatten out, and then they also mentioned that there's no major first party games coming in 2024. And there was also that statement that the PlayStation was in its
The
latter
latter
half.
years.
Yeah, which I mean, it came out in 2020. We're in 2024, so it's going to come up on its fourth year in the market. Console generations are usually 6 to 8 years, so
That makes sense.
it's not necessarily a doom and gloom type statement, but I can also understand, when you've got Spider-Man, God of War, which was cross-gen, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Demon
Demon
Souls.
Souls. And those
Not
were all like first year games too.
Yeah, not a lot of first-party stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just surprising to hear that
Yeah,
with what we've gotten from PlayStation so far, and you could say the same thing about Xbox too.
yeah,
Haven't
even worse.
haven't
Yeah,
gotten much.
yeah,
Um, like with Nintendo, their Half Life was at 2021. And if I were to hear that in 2021, I'd be like, yeah, dude, the Switch has had a ton of games so far, and I'm excited to see what they have in the latter years of its life. But
Yeah,
yeah, with PlayStation 5, like if they don't have a first party game or a major first party game this year,
that's
and
crazy.
the PS5 is in the back half of its life, like what do we have to look forward to aside from Wolverine? And we, like functionally, we know that game is going to be like it's going to be a third person action game,
Yeah,
kind of
we. I
like.
mean, we don't. I mean, I'm assuming it's probably coming out 2025, but who knows?
Yeah, is that really the only game that's
I mean, that like Death Stranding 2 is
okay?
coming,
Yeah,
but
Death Stranding 2 looks
that's
awesome,
also
but
2025. Um, I'm assuming. I think the speculation is that the next thing from Naughty Dog is a new IP, so that's kind of exciting. Um, but they also, they just canceled their multiplayer Last of Us. So, yeah, I don't know. The Insomniac has kind of carried the generation for for
they
PlayStation.
have
So, yeah,
it's a good
we'll
purchase
see.
for them. Yeah,
Nick, you want to read the last news thing we got?
yeah. So there's been obviously a lot of Nintendo Direct rumors over the past couple of weeks, and it started with okay, there's definitely a Direct the first week of February,
Yeah.
and it's a general Direct to okay, it's the second week of
Yeah.
February,
And
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 it might be a
based
partner
on
Direct.
history, it's
Yeah,
always
based off
been.
history,
Yeah.
that's a good indicator, and that makes sense. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be a partner direct, and it's it was gonna be last week, and then Xbox had their leaks, and that apparently affected their partner direct, which I think that makes sense now, knowing
Yeah.
that Hi-Fi Rush could be coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
But now it's been confirmed that the partner direct is coming Wednesday, February 21st, and it's just gonna be a YouTube drop,
Yep.
so you can skip through anything if you want. And you said it was filmed in the
Well,
New York.
they're airing it at the New York
Oh, they're
Nintendo.
airing it at the New
Yeah.
York.
Which I don't think that's been done ever. They've done directs before,
Oh, they
like general
have it
directs.
on?
I don't know if they've done a partner showcase.
Okay, okay.
They might have. I could very well be wrong, but yeah, I'm not quite sure. And then and then I did see Krista from the Kit and Krista podcast. She was like, they didn't say roughly 25 minutes. They used a different phrase, and she was like, "What's up with that?" Because they always use roughly,
Yeah.
which
What did they say? Did they say just 25 minutes?
they said a different word.
Let me pull up the. Okay, a partner showcase is coming. Watch on demand via YouTube on 221 at 9 a.m. for around 25
Around.
minutes of info focused on Nintendo Switch games coming in the first half of 2024 from our publishing and development
Yeah,
partners.
interesting.
So, yeah,
So yeah,
very
it's a
interesting.
direct. Yeah, it's not a general direct like
It's
most of
not,
us wanted.
but it's
Um,
not a mini. It's not a mini partner direct like we had
it's not a mini
a
partner.
few years ago.
And then I didn't put it in the news here, but there was also the report that came out. I think VGC, um, and a lot of other websites were kind of corroborating the story. But the Switch is internally delayed. I guess is how they should have phrased it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was weird because they were saying that it was delayed, but obviously the Switch 2 has not been announced, so it can't be delayed. But everyone's saying that it's coming out in Q1 of 2025. Um, which, if it's true, kind of a bummer. Not gonna lie, because obviously
yeah,
we want something new, and I mean the Switch is going into its 8th year on the market, so
that is a long time.
we're
Maybe they just
it's
want to hit the number one spot for the
yeah they're
top
trying
top console.
to yeah
I don't. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a
weird
bummer. I wish we didn't know that. I wish. I agree with your video. I think sometimes I wish the leakers would just stay silent.
yeah we don't
Don't talk about Metroid Prime 4 showcase in May. Don't talk about Switch 2 internally being delayed to Q1 because who does that help?
yeah
You know, I
I guess
think
it
you should
helps
only
shareholders because they can sell because their stock did drop. um
it dropped like 2%.
yeah, and that's
Wasn't
just
even that
that
much.
that wasn't because it got delayed. It was it the stock went up because we thought the Switch 2 was coming out, so people were buying it up, and now that
Yeah.
they it's again none of this it's all rumored until Nintendo officially says something, but and they won't until the Switch 2 or whatever is ready to go. But yeah, and then the market evened itself out after all that was said and done. But yeah, nobody benefits from like I don't need to know that. I would just been happy with speculating. Okay, maybe next month they'll announce.
Yeah,
But
maybe in March. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
March is still the rumor. So who knows? Who knows?
Just if that is true, I'm staking my claim. I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the big holiday game this year. I don't think we're going to see much of anything else.
If Switch 2 does not come out this year,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
kind of the last. I think it'll be that and Fire Emblem. I think those will be kind of the two like swan song games for the Switch.
Yeah, and maybe they'll put out Metroid Prime 2 and 3, get those out there, and then
Mhm.
have Prime 4 end off the year. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and kind of speaking of the partner direct, I wouldn't be surprised if like we had uh some like actual news tomorrow from Nintendo on like either Thousand Year Door or you know Prime 2 or 3
Just to get it out
remakes.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, just to get it out ahead of the partner direct.
yeah,
So I mean, I don't know. It the rest of the year does look a little dry for Nintendo, but
very much so. Yeah,
that's expected. Like look at the 3DS in the last year when it was in existence along with the Switch, where it just had like
yeah, but that
remakes.
made sense because it was it was clearly a dying, like the Switch was like the next thing.
Yeah, but the Wii as well. Like that one, I think it had Skyward Sword at the end of its life, and that's like really the only notable game it had.
Yeah,
So it makes sense. Like, yeah, going into the 8th year of the Switch, it's had a great run.
very
You know,
great.
you can't expect it to keep can't expect Nintendo to keep churning out these these bangers and all these hits.
Yeah, which is why a lot of people were speculating that the Switch 2 is like 99% sure coming this year. And again, it
Yeah.
still could. They could still absolutely announce it, next month and everything's good to go. But yeah, I wish I would have not had received that information.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah, it's just a bummer because we're so early in this year.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like getting the Tears of the Kingdom delay in 2022. Like, oh, they're pushing it to 2023,
It's like it's
and
so
we got
far
that
away.
news in like February or March of 2022. It's like, damn,
And then I don't
like
think we heard anything until September, and then we got an official release date. Oh, yeah.
right, yeah, yeah,
And that doesn't say like, they could announce the Switch 2 next month and then just have like a year, kind of marketing cycle or
build up.
whatever.
And
So,
I think that I think that would work.
I mean,
Depending on what the Switch 2 is.
the Xbox Series X was announced in what, 2018 at the or
It was
was it 2019?
2019.
2019
It came out a year
is a year.
later.
So I mean, companies do that. You know, when they announced like the Switch in 2016, I mean that was they needed to announce it and get that out there because the Wii U was dead. Um,
Yeah,
so
and people were certain it was going to come out in 2016.
yeah,
And then when they dropped that trailer and said, "Stay tuned in 2017 for more news," and we're like, "What? It's October! Like you're not gonna drop anything
you're not
else?"
gonna have it for the holiday.
Yeah, no news until 2020 2017.
Yeah, that was crazy, but oh, yeah,
So I don't know. There's plenty to play.
yeah, for sure.
It'll be fine, but
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I just want to know what it is. I want to know what it looks like. I want to know if it's the same form factor or if they're doing something different. Like what's the selling point going to be? That's what I'm super curious about.
Yeah, aside for just more power, obviously. Like
Yeah.
what's different. So before we wrap up the show, I'm gonna read. We did do a Nintendo Direct a few weeks ago. At this point now, and this is when we thought it was gonna be a general Direct. So I'll read through what we have, and some stuff I think could still happen. But obviously a lot of this stuff probably won't because it's not a general Direct. So we've got Metro Prime 2 and 3, or Metro Prime 2 and or 3 remaster, 2D Metroid remake, Fusion or Super,
Mhm.
Luigi's Mansion 2 HD release date. Not gonna happen, but we could get, like you said, we could get something, soon. I think it'll be a Twitter reveal for that. What we could get though, the copium, the hopium is in the air, baby. Hollow Knight
Don't
Silk
say it.
Song.
Shut up.
Let's wrap it with that. Professor Layton, some sort of
I think
farm.
we'll see that.
Yeah,
I think we'll see their games.
some sort of farming game. I think that's all but guaranteed.
Oh yeah,
Metro Prime 4. This one could be interesting. An Oracle remake. Originally made by Capcom, third party, with given the Zelda license, so
okay.
maybe. Some sort of Kirby game. Hi-Fi Rush, I think, is all but guaranteed to be there. Switch sequel. Was that the Switch 2? Is that what that was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Switch. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Switch
Right.
2.
We didn't know what the name was. Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. That's not happening.
No.
Year, Paper Mario 1000 Year Door release date. Fire Emblem 4 remake. Nintendo mobile game. I guess could. I don't know about that one.
Probably not.
Princess Peach Showtime remaining costumes. We've already since had that with the Twitter reveals. Mario Baseball. Could that happen? Because they don't own the studio that does like the sports games, do they?
I think they. Who does? I think they do.
Okay. GameCube NSO, not gonna happen. Fantasy Life release date.
Potential.
That could happen.
Yeah.
New Donkey Kong.
Nope.
Some sort of amiibo announcement. Probably not if it's a partner showcase. Update for Nintendo Museum or Park. Probably not. They usually do those in regular directs. The GameCube controller to go along with the GameCube NSO. Not gonna happen. Resident Evil 3 Revelations. Or
Could happen.
Resident Evil Revelations 3 could happen.
Could have some heavy Capcom.
Yeah. And then Smash Bros. 99 or something equivalent to that. Not gonna happen. So stuff. There's still some stuff that could happen on that list. I think we were pretty broad with that list.
Yeah. Hey, Mercury Steam is still third party. They could be working on a Metroid remake.
Who did they do? Did they do Dread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they also did. I think they did Samus Returns, the 2D or the Metroid 2 remake.
What was that 3DS game that they did? That was like a Fire Emblem kind of thing.
Samus Returns.
No.
Was it you talking about Metroid or Fire Emblem?
No, it was a new IP.
Codename Steam.
Codename Steam. Was that the official title?
I think so.
Okay, I remember that.
I played the demo. I did not like that game.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was really slow.
I played the demo as well because I think they had like Overwatch in that game too and stuff. It was like more of a tactics game than it was.
But it followed Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, it was strange.
It's weird.
Any besides what we had created, is there anything else that you can think of or what you would want from this direct, other than Hollow Knight, of course?
Yeah, we're not gonna get
Shadow Drop Hollow Knight.
No shot. Maybe, I don't know. Does Xbox have marketing rights to Hollow Knight?
I don't know. I don't know what they're. I know it's coming to Game Pass. So I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure because it was initially announced in a direct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think so. And then we saw it.
And it was going to be exclusive to Switch and PC.
Yeah, and then we saw it last year at the Xbox showcase, I think.
Mm-hmm. Back in 2022.
Yeah. Well, that's 2022.
Yeah, because it's like all these games are coming in the next year.
And that's right. Yeah, because that's when the is Hollow Knight Silk Song out yet? Twitter.
That's when they started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after 365, it was just every day is just no.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I wouldn't expect it to be there at all. Hollow Knight. If it's there, hell yeah. But
I don't have high expectations. If a game if Endless Ocean is the game getting like leaked by Pure, I don't have high hopes for anything of note coming over.
Yeah, but I also feel like Pure doesn't leak like big stuff either. Like he leaked another code. Like,
He looked Super Mario Wonder.
did he leak Wonder? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah,
But
but I
I mean, maybe he's not. Maybe he's intentionally not leaking something big.
yeah, I don't know. In Puro we trust.
Yeah. Impure. Yeah, we'll see what else they say.
Yeah, yeah, they might be dropping that. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the Twitter tomorrow because there might be some more stuff dropping.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it seems like it's Endless Ocean, and then I don't know what else.
yeah, that pocket thing, whatever that
Oh yeah.
Game Freak.
Pocket Junkie.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still a direct. I'm still excited, but you know the partner ones are never like
Never that hype.
nah. It's like yeah.
I'm also seeing stuff about the SMT5
Oh yeah, like some sort of
special edition.
special
I
edition.
don't know. I don't know why they would release that on the Switch. Like I don't know why that would be in the partner showcase if it's something that's getting uh like ported over to the PS5 and Series X. Like I don't know what they would show off for the
Yeah,
new Switch version.
I mean, is there like new
Unless it's new
content?
content. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Hmm.
Heard that game ended kind of weird. So
Yeah, maybe it's additional content. I have no idea.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's exciting. It's a direct, but yeah, it's nothing. I don't know. It's not super duper hype.
Probably not gonna be blown away.
And 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 yeah, and then also I guess just knowing or potentially knowing the Switch 2 is not coming out this year. It's like man, it's like just extra bums me out right now.
Yeah. It's like this is all you guys got.
This is
This
it.
is all you got right now. No regular direct to fill out the rest of the year.
Yeah, even like a regular direct, like they could have still announced, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and a
Given a
couple other
release date for
remakes.
some games. Yeah.
Yeah, that
For
could have
some games.
some games
Yeah,
to
some
at least
games.
tide us over until the holiday, and then whatever. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get a Metro Prime reveal soon. That would be nice.
Maybe they'll just tweet it out tomorrow. Hey,
Jesus Christ, dude!
Prime 2 is
Do you think
available
they would
now.
actually just tweet out like Prime 4? No, there's no way.
Not Prime 4. I'm talking about Prime 2.
Prime 2 or
Prime 2 and
3.
3.
Yeah, yeah. Prime 4 has to be like a closer at this point.
Dude, if they've been hyping up this baby since 2017, you gotta go all out for it. Especially if it's like if it looks really good,
Yeah, if it looks really
if
good.
it's
Do you think it has multiplayer?
I think it does. I
You
think
think
it
so?
will. Yeah, I don't know what type of multiplayer. I don't know if it'll be like an actual like PvP multiplayer,
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
but
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe they'll do that like soccer game that they had in that Federation Force 3DS Metroid
I
game.
never played that one.
There was some.
Did you have
It
that
was like a
game?
Rocket League. No. I kind of
Okay,
wish I did. I heard it's
not bad.
I heard it's all right
Yeah. Okay.
for what it's worth. For all those 3DS games that they put out that relied heavily on multiplayer.
Interesting.
That and Triforce Heroes,
Hmm.
just
Okay.
weird stuff. Weird stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting interesting direct to see what they got there.
Mhm.
But all right, guys, I think that is going to wrap up the show. We appreciate everyone watching, listening, all that good stuff. If you can leave us a review on your favorite podcasting platform app of choice, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You can follow us on all of our socials. I think mainly Twitter, TikTok. We haven't posted on TikTok here in a while, but
Yeah,
we'll probably ramp that back
You
up.
should post some of your Ocarina of Time clips on there.
I've got some stuff saved. I've got the
Okay.
in OBS you can clip it like it'll go back and save like the last like 2 minutes of a recording.
Hmm.
It's called like flashback recording. So I've got a
Oh,
couple that I
nice.
could potentially put on there. But yeah, follow us on all that stuff. That would be much appreciated. And we'll see you guys next week and talk about at least some Nintendo Direct stuff.
Yeah, at the very least, I'm sure Xbox's plans through 2030 will get leaked, and we'll talk about that too, since
Jeez.
everything leaks on their side.
Yeah, everything. My goodness. All right, guys. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. I think I'm getting sick.
Oh man.
I feel like in the